So with the release of Pacific Drive, the new indie game, I suppose it's an indie game. I don't know if a huge team developed this game or not, but moving on from that, that's not what the point of this video is. It's basically talking about Pacific Drive, and I played through it a little bit just to make sure, see a little bit about it, see what's good and what's not. I mean, there are some good things about the game, and I'm going to try to make this a little review. So far, the whole premise of the game is you're in this car, and it's basically like your safe zone in the game. Basically, it's like whenever you need something, just head back to the car, drive around. This game is basically just a scavenging game, and it's not really more of a survival game. It's more of like a go around, collect things. I thought the game would be scary. It's not really a scary game. It's just a survival game. Like, the things in this game that can hurt you are just like world objects, like pillars that raise from the ground that can shoot you into the sky and break your car. So anything doing damage to you will be basically to your car. There are settings that can switch it to where it's just you and not the car, but personally, I don't mess with the settings. All I know is that that's what I saw in the settings. Throughout the game, you can basically go and collect scrap, a bunch of stuff, rubber. It's basically, you craft stuff, you can replace the car parts, make it stronger, make the car faster, make the car have more health, make the car do things to help you survive longer and keep on getting better and better stuff. That's the good things about this game, is that it's fun to collect things. It's pretty satisfying to upgrade your stuff. The bad thing is, getting the stuff is the most awful. Oh my gosh, I could say this forever, but it is terrible. I'm saying you have to go to like 50,000 houses just to get a fucking upgrade part for your car. It is ridiculous. No, and all this is just so you can finish the game. Like, there's no, like, it doesn't feel satisfying. Like, it feels satisfying whenever you get the upgrade to the car, because the car is cool and all, but once you get that upgrade, you don't get it again. It's like, you can't upgrade it again. You can only upgrade it, like, maybe, like, 15 times. There's a bunch of different upgrades. No, don't get me wrong. The upgrade system is amazing in this game. I love the upgrade system. But there are some upgrades in this game that are just terrible. They're just straight up terrible. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to spoil anything. But, there are also car abilities in this game where you can have, like, a handbrake. I think you could see it in the background. And when I'm driving my vehicle, I can just hit A or something, or use, if you're playing on keyboard and mouse, you probably hit a button. But you could just use your handbrake, like, by clicking the button A or something, which is absolutely the most useless ability I've ever heard of. But it's your first ability in the game you get. And it's just a handbrake that you could click A to brake your car when you could just already click LT to brake the car. I don't understand the point of it. Maybe I'm not inclined or smart enough to understand. But there's, like, and I have basically gotten no abilities, and I've played this game for 11 hours. I have literally been playing this game for about 11 hours. I got no abilities. I only got the same behind the handbrake ability, and I've got no clue as to how to get new abilities. But I've seen other people get new abilities. So, either I'm dumb or I don't know. The game is just, there's another bad thing about the game. It doesn't exactly explain the best way to make things in this game. Like, it took me like 3 or 4 hours to figure out what I'm even doing and what the point of me even doing this is in the game. I mean, the story's there. Your car is basically just like attached to you, basically, so every time you die, your car dies. Every time your car dies, you die. So you're, like, basically synced with the car. But I do think it's cool that this is possibly one of the first survival games where you just, the main focus is being in the car, upgrading the car, surviving with the car. The car is basically grows on you throughout the game, and you actually get the chance to feel, so, like, let's just say, if your car gets damaged, you repair that thing right up. You can customize it. You can do anything you want. It's basically like the DeLorean from Back to the Future, except it's your DeLorean. You get to do what you want with it. And this game is pretty fun when it comes to collecting things, like I've said before. Like, I mean, there are times where you have to make a lot of things, and it gets tedious, but over time, you get used to it. It gets easier. It gets better, and it's the same thing with a lot of survival games. It sucks at the beginning of the game, and then the more you progress, the better and more fun it gets. Now, next thing is the fuel. The fuel is actually a system in the game that they make you use, but I don't understand the part of the whole fuel thing. So they basically give you a fuel tank back at the base, and they expect you to, like, extract fuel from other cars in the game. Like, you have to go up the other cars, take the fuel out of them, and put it in your car. But I don't understand the point of that whenever you could just fill it up in the flipping base, and it will be full for a whole road ride, and you don't need to even go and fill it up again for the rest of the ride until you get back. Or at least that's what I've been doing. I literally have not used the little oil canister once at all, like, ever. I've never needed to. Every time I came back, I'd be at, like, 60 or 70 fuel, like, after, like, a 2 or 3 hour play session of one mission. It just feels like you use barely any fuel whenever, like, I just barely use any. None. It never drains. Like, it just slowly drains. But then again, I did see, though, that there is harder modes. I don't know. I think I just went with normal modes, so that's another reason that could be the reason why mine drains super slowly. But another thing is that I do agree that the whole custom settings thing is amazing. That is super cool. I'm happy with what they did with that. That is such a cool feature in the game. You get to customize how you want your game to be, and it's just cool. Whew, I'm running out of breath here, but I'm gonna make this rest short. This game is a really good game. There are some flaws. Yeah, the whole game system's kind of weirdly structured, but I think it's a pretty darn fun scavenger kind of survival game. It's pretty fun. There are a little bit of enemies in it, but they're not really enemies. They're more of like, how do I say it? Like weather conditions, it feels like. The weather conditions are like basically the most threat you'll get in this game, and maybe electricity towers. There's like these towers that will like shock your car and make it so that you can't use your headlights, but I mean, so far that's only threats I've seen in the 11 hours I've played. I still got to play a little bit more to understand, to see if there's even more threats, but other than that, I really have not seen many threats other than the electricity beam and whatnot. But yeah, I have enjoyed this game so far. I'm going to continue playing it until the end, and yeah, I'll update on this video if it gets any better. I mean, it's pretty darn fun anyway. Like, I don't think it needs to be better than it is. It's made by a talented group of developers, and it's just an amazing game. So yeah, make sure to buy this game. It's a pretty fun game if you like survival games. It's one of the better ones, actually. And actually, I would recommend buying this game over AAA games. The recently stupid behind high price of AAA games, and also them being terrible, like, for example, the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game. That game was a AAA game that made you run it on the internet. So every time it disconnects you from the internet, you lose your progress you made in the game. It's such a stupid thing. But this is a good, so far I've been into the indie games recently, just because I feel like all these small development teams are starting to get the light and shine they need ever since the terrible flipping AAA games that are so far so good from all these big studios seem to be shit sometimes. But yeah, there's pretty much it. This game is amazing. Go check it out. And yeah, this is Mason signing out.